In the dim glow of a dusty auction house on the outskirts of Detroit, Marcus Thompson stood alone, his wedding ring long discarded but the ache in his chest still fresh like an open wound. At 42, newly divorced after 15 years of what he thought was unbreakable love, he felt like a shadow of the man he'd once been, a successful architect reduced to wandering aimlessly through weekends that stretched empty and endless. The 1937 Cadillac Series 75 convertible caught his eye amid the relics of forgotten eras, its faded black paint chipped like old memories, chrome accents tarnished but whispering of bygone elegance. On a whim, fueled by the need to reclaim anything, he bid higher than he should, and walked away with the keys to a piece of history that smelled of aged leather and quiet secrets. Driving the old beast home that evening, Marcus gripped the wheel tightly, the engine's rumble vibrating through his bones like a heartbeat he hadn't felt in months. The divorce had stripped him bare, no kids, no shared home left to fight over, just a hollow apartment and a bank account lighter from lawyer fees. His ex-wife, Lena, had moved on swiftly, her social media posts a parade of new adventures that stung like salt in his wounds. "Why this car?" he muttered to himself, glancing at the rearview mirror where his reflection stared back, weary eyes framed by the lines of a black man who'd always prided himself on providing, on being the rock. But rocks crumble too, he thought, as he pulled into his garage, the Cadillac's tires crunching over scattered tools from half-finished projects. The restoration began as therapy, a way to fill the silence. Marcus spent evenings sanding rust from the fenders, polishing the grille until it gleamed under the fluorescent lights. He was no mechanic, but YouTube tutorials and sheer determination guided his hands. One rainy Saturday, as thunder rolled outside, he pried open the glove compartment, expecting faded manuals or forgotten receipts. Instead, his fingers brushed against a loose panel at the back. Curiosity piqued, he tugged it free, revealing a hidden compartment sealed with decades of grime. Inside lay a small wooden box, its lid engraved with intricate carvings of intertwining vines, a symbol of endurance, perhaps. Heart-pounding, Marcus lifted the lid. No gold or jewels greeted him, but something far more intimate, a bundle of yellowed letters tied with a frayed ribbon, a tarnished silver locket, and a faded photograph of a young black couple from another time. The man in the photo wore a sharp suit, his arm around a woman in a floral dress, both smiling against the backdrop of a gleaming new Cadillac, the very same model. Scrawled on the back in elegant script, Elijah and Rosa, June 1937. Our chariot to freedom. The letters, dated from 1937 to 1942, were from Elijah Washington to his wife Rosa, penned during the Great Depression's lingering shadows and the eve of World War II. As Marcus unfolded the first letter, the words leaped off the page like echoes from a shared soul. Elijah wrote of hardships, factory jobs vanishing overnight, bills piling like autumn leaves, the sting of segregation that barred them from dreams others took for granted. "My dearest Rosa," it began, "these times test us, but our love is the engine that drives us forward. I've hidden this away in our Cadillac, our one true possession, for the day when hope seems lost. Inside the locket is a token of my promise, a deed to a small plot of land in Georgia, bought with every spare penny. If I'm gone, sell it or build on it. But remember, kindness is the true wealth. Pay it forward, as strangers have to us." Marcus's breath caught. The locket opened to reveal not just a tiny photo of Elijah and Rosa, but a folded document. A deed, brittle with age, to 5 acres in rural Georgia. A quick online search on his phone revealed the land's value today, modest farmland now worth over $200,000 due to nearby development. His mind raced, sell it, and his financial woes from the divorce would vanish. He could start fresh, maybe travel, rebuild the life Lena had shattered. But as he read deeper into the letters, Elijah's voice grew vivid, tales of neighbors sharing meals during lean times, of a white mechanic who fixed their car for free despite the risks, of Elijah himself hiding food for a struggling family down the street. "Selflessness isn't a burden," Rosa, one letter read. "It's the spark that lights the darkest paths." That night, sleep evaded Marcus. He paced his apartment, the letters spread across the kitchen table like a map to his own fractured heart. Divorce had made him bitter, questioning if kindness still existed in a world of quick swipes and fleeting connections. But Elijah's words stirred something dormant, a realization that pain wasn't unique to him. The unexpected turn came the next morning. Instead of calling a realtor, Marcus decided to trace the Washingtons' descendants. It felt impulsive, almost foolish, but the pull was undeniable. Hours at the library and online genealogy sites yielded clues. Elijah had served in the war, returned a hero, but passed young from illness. Rosa raised 2 children alone, one of whom moved north during the Great Migration. A week later, after emails and phone calls, Marcus found himself on a video call with Amelia Washington, Elijah's great-granddaughter. She was a single mother in Atlanta, her face etched with the same quiet strength as Rosa's in the photo. "I thought those stories were just family lore," she said, her voice trembling. "Grandpa Elijah's Cadillac? We lost track of it after the war. And the land, we never knew." Amelia's story unfolded like a mirror to Marcus's pain. Her husband had left her 2 years ago, amid mounting debts from medical bills for their son, Jamal, who battled sickle cell anemia. The family scraped by in a cramped apartment, dreams of stability fading. "That land could change everything," she whispered. "A home of our own, space for Jamal to run without worry." Marcus felt a profound shift, a moment of clarity sharper than any blueprint he'd ever drawn. This wasn't just about the find, it was a bridge across generations, a testament to enduring humanity. He could keep the deed, justify it as his reward for the discovery. But Elijah's letters echoed, "Pay it forward." The unexpected realization hit him: the car hadn't been a random purchase, it was fate's gentle nudge toward healing not just himself, but others. The climax built over the following days. Marcus drove the restored Cadillac south, the wind whipping through the open top as he crossed state lines, the engine purring like a contented lion. Arriving in Atlanta, he met Amelia and Jamal in person at a park. The boy, 8 years old with bright eyes despite his frailty, gasped at the vintage car. "It's like a time machine," he exclaimed, climbing into the back seat. Handing over the box with the letters, locket, and deed, Marcus watched Amelia's tears fall. "This belongs to you," he said simply. Elijah wanted it to bring hope when it's needed most. But he didn't stop there. In an act of pure compassion, Marcus revealed he'd already contacted a lawyer to transfer the land legally, and from his own savings, spurred by the divorce settlement, he added a check for $10,000 to cover initial medical costs for Jamal. "I'd been where you are," he told her, voice thick with emotion. "Lost, angry. But kindness, it rebounds. It changed everything for me." Amelia hugged him fiercely, Jamal joining in, their laughter mingling with sobs. In that moment, under the Georgia sun, Marcus felt the weight of his divorce lift. The act wasn't just generosity, it was transformative, reigniting his belief in the power of humanity. He saw in Amelia's eyes the same spark Elijah had described, a chain of selflessness linking past to present. Driving back north in the Cadillac, now feeling like an old friend, Marcus reflected on the journey. The car hadn't just carried him miles, it had transported him to a new beginning. He stopped in a small town, helping a stranded motorist with a jumpstart, paying forward the mechanic's kindness from Elijah's era. Back home, he volunteered at a community center, sharing stories of resilience with divorced men like himself. Years later, Marcus would look back and smile. The vintage Cadillac sat proudly in his garage, a symbol not of loss, but of rediscovery. In a world often divided by pain and prejudice, acts of kindness bridge the gaps, reminding us that we're all riding in the same chariot toward hope. And in that truth lies the power to change everything. For one person, one family, one heart at a time.